How I got caught lying to qualify for food stamps. Story time.
Story time about how I got caught lying on my food stamp application while doing a face full of new makeup. All right, y'all, let's get down to business. I have to tell y'all this story because it's so funny now that it's over. So the year is 2020. Everybody is at their peak scamming position. I'm talking PPP loans. I'm talking about stimulus checks. I'm talking about food stamps. So I said to myself said, I said, you need some food stamps too, boo. Go get you some. So I moseyed on down to the SNAP website. It was my time to shine. I go ahead on and fill out the application. It's myself, 3 kids. But there was an important piece that I've left out. I forgot to tell them about my man. Child, I done told them people my kids ain't got no daddy. That's the thing about social services. They always want to know your business. You got money in your account? Do you own a car? Do your kids have a father? Child, that lady called asking all them questions. I almost wanted to body slam her. Stay out my business. Anywho, fast forward, we get approved. And I'm talking approved. Now, by this point, I quit my job. This is when COVID started to really affect our family. Daycare providers was getting COVID.
She quit her job. Oh my goodness. We're getting too much too soon. It's almost like an overload here. Let's outline this. So you already have 3 kids. It sounds like she was still with the father and they are together, however, not married, which a lot of people don't get married intentionally, especially when they know that they want to get benefits because they know that that would prevent the benefits. But if you're not married, then it's a lot easier to try to defraud, like it appears she's trying to do, and not include the other partner on the paperwork because it's not like they have 24 surveil surveillance outside of your home or anything like that. It would just be too unmanageable. So most people will get away with it. And that's what she attempted to do. We're going to try to unpack what got her caught up or whatever, but it's just egregious from the start. 3 kids, you have a man, and you feel like you shouldn't have to divulge any of this information. She said something. Oh, and she quit her job. She quit her job, which a lot of people do on benefits because they can get more benefits. And see, she had a more advantageous position to do that because she could quit her job, be able to stay at home and spend all her time with the kids and take care of the kids while still getting that unreported income circulating throughout the home. And maybe even waiting on a Section 8 waiting list to eventually have the potential to get free rent. And then she would still have her other half's income circulating through the home. This is insane. Y'all, before we get back into the story, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second, and it's actually only a click. And if you're here anyway, you might as well click the like button because it's very easy. And also, if you could hype.
Child, I done told them people my kids ain't got no daddy. That's the thing about social services. They always want to know your business. You got money in your account? Do you own a car? Do your kids have a father? Child, that lady called asking all them questions. I almost wanted to body slam her. Stay out my business. Anywho, fast forward, we get approved. And I'm talking approved. Now, by this point, I quit my job. This is when COVID started to really affect our family. Daycare providers was getting COVID. Co-workers was getting COVID. It was just COVID out over here. So I said, oh, no, 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 no. That ain't even about to fly. Not with my babies. Keep in mind, not only did I have a 6-year-old, but I had twin 4-month-olds. No. So everything's going well for a while. I'm getting my little money every month. They're giving me about 700, okay? And I wasn't playing about my little sev. I was at the grocery store promptly, 8 a.m. every ninth of the month. So about 5 months go by, then I go back to work. Here's where everything falls apart. So one day I'm getting ready for work. I got my kids out the door. They at daycare. I'm just getting ready for.
You know what's crazy? So she quit her job, and I guarantee you she went over there immediately to report that she no longer had any income so that they can elevate the amount that they were giving her in benefits. I guarantee you she promptly went over there to inform them, hey, I no longer have a job, so I need more benefits allocated towards me. But when she got that other job, I bet you she wasn't as prompt and as swift to be able to inform them that, hey, okay, I got a job again, so you can downgrade my benefits now. I guarantee, or I bet you, allegedly, that she didn't update them on that as quickly as she updated them when she lost it, or she didn't lose it. She didn't lose her job. She quit her job. And keep in mind, she was already on benefits, and then she wound up pregnant to have her twins, allegedly.
Here's where everything falls apart. So one day I'm getting ready for work. I got my kids out the door, day at daycare. I'm just getting ready for work, listening to gospel music like the beautiful, holy, saved woman I am. I hear a knock at the door.
She listening to gospel music, getting her day started while she's threading these webs of lies in order to get more benefits that other people in other people who don't have basically husbands, because she basically has a husband. She's just not marrying him because it could interfere with her being able to exploit the system. So she's listening to her gospel music, watching her sermons in the morning while she's lying, taking up space on a program that she actually does not even need and that other people need and could use, and that she's taking up space on.
Work. I got my kids out the door, day at daycare. I'm just getting ready for work, listening to gospel music like the beautiful, holy, saved woman I am. I hear a knock at the door. This is odd because who knocks on somebody's door at 9 a.m. in the morning? I don't answer doors because I have anxiety, so my husband got it, which is normal. It's his house. I hear him say, babe. So I'm like, what could anyone want with me? I go to the door, and for the sake of this video, we're going to say her name was Jessica Rubenstein.
That's so ironic that she didn't want to answer the door, because the man of the house can go and answer the door. And then when he goes and answers the door, he answers the door for people that he's not even supposed to be in the home. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? He go and answer the door, and you're just who they wanted to see.
I hear him say, babe.
Then he
So
talk
I'm
about
like,
babe.
what could anyone want with me? I go to the door, and for the sake of this video, we're going to say her name was Jessica Rubenstein. She says, my name is Jessica Rubenstein from the county fraud department. My heart was in my ass. I'm like, yes, Miss Rubenstein, whatever could you want? So she's like, so you put on your application that you're a single mother, but we see here that you're married. Married? Well, whoever told you that? Like it ain't public record.
What
I
the
said, ma'am, somebody done told you wrong. Y'all, this lady
Then she
pulled out a
lying.
whole file on me. You'd think I would give up, but no, I'm determined. She said, well, who was that guy that just answered the door? I said, that's my brother, Jonathan. Jonathan?
She said the dude called her when he went to the door and said, babe. Then look how deep this lying stuff goes. You think you just turn this off? Lying like this on the spot? You think you can just turn this off? Fellas, really anybody. Fellas, ladies, everybody. When somebody's just lying like this and you can see it, even if it's in other situations where it could be advantageous to you, you should still be paying attention to that. That is still going to be an indication of how they habitually operate. She lies so effortlessly. I wouldn't even say effortlessly. Immediately. And she didn't even contextualize that this dude just called you babe when he called you to come to the door.
Determined. She said, well, who was that guy that just answered the door? I said, that's my brother, Jonathan. Jonathan?
And you said the
Really?
wrong name.
She said, oh, really? Because he looks a lot like the guy in your profile picture. She done sat in my face and told me my own husband name. And I still tried to lie. So at some point, she's just like, all right, let's cut the crap. I know you're married. I know that's your husband. Do you want me to look around? Like, I know this is your man. He's like, the more you lie, the less I can help you. Whatever. Okay, fine. You caught me. What's up? She's like, of course I have to share my findings. Of course you're going to be off of food stamps. Of course you're going to be done with daycare. Because you lied. And that's what happens when you lie. So I'm like, you mean I have to use my own money? She goes back to the office. Of course, she shares her findings with her boss as she's supposed to. And of course, I get cut off. Now I have a bill. So fast forward to 2023. So far, I ain't pay on the bill at all. I was just letting it rock out. You know what I mean? Because clearly I didn't have the money if I had to take it from you. But
Yeah, them,
when
them
you owe
taxes.
somebody, they gonna get their money. And how did they get their money? My taxes. When I say them people got their revenge on me, they got it. Over $2,000 of my tax return. Gone! Did they take it? You know they did. You know they got their money. I'm glad they took it though, because I don't like sitting around owing nobody. Take your money and go. Leave me alone. But get this. I randomly received 2 PEBT cards totaling over $3,000. They're in my children's names, of course. I'm not doing no more fraud. I got those cards and told my kids to put their shoes on immediately. We had business to take care of. Basically, I said all of this to say, don't be like me. Be smart. Don't lie to them people, because applying for these resources is like inviting them into your business. And they will absolutely do a thorough search. But I don't gotta do that no more. I'm up now. Toodaloo.
I'm up now. And it seemed like the main takeaway of why you don't mess with them people or don't deal with them is because they're going to be up in your business. That's why, ma'am, you were taking up space on a program that you didn't need. You have a whole husband. I thought that they were just dating and they were technically husband, but not on paper. She was actually married on paper. And she thought that that couldn't come back to bite her. She thought that that wouldn't come back to bite her. Being married on paper, and what probably flagged it was she probably listen, man. A lot of the ladies, they get married because of the photos and because of the celebration, and not necessarily the life that comes after it. So you think that she's gonna get married and she's not gonna post it everywhere she possibly can that she's married and probably have the videos and all that? So it was a pretty easy open and shut case. I would argue, because I'm sure that these people don't do that much due diligence and that much digging on people. Somebody probably reported you first of all. And then they didn't even have to do that much digging because it was probably all over your social media. And again, it was an open and shut case. And then you continued to sit here and lie to those people. You could have really racked up a lot of felonies. I don't know if she knows that. She got out of this very good. And it sounds like she still even is able to exploit some type of loophole where she just puts the benefits in her kid's name or whatever, or maybe they have a disability or something. I don't know. But ultimately, she's still getting some type of money. But this is the abuse and the fraud that we talk about. People who don't even need it taking up space on these programs from people who could actually use it. Did y'all, it's okay to have more than what you need in something, right? Wouldn't it be great if people just use this program ethically, and then it was actually at a surplus to where they could save some of that money in reserve just in case for exceptional situations or whatever the case, however they want to use it? Because the people who actually need it, in my opinion, a lot of times don't even get enough. So imagine if they could allocate a greater and larger portion to those people, people who are blind, people who are missing their whole lower torso, things like that, things they couldn't control. Even if you were a single mother with all these kids, I would still argue you had a decision to do that. Just like you made decisions, all the wrong decisions in this situation, you made decisions to have kids. So you should kind of be responsible for that if life was just fair and it just worked the way that it was supposed to. But you live in the greatest country in the world where you can be taken care of, and you were still abusing it and taking away from people who are in that position that could have used it. People in the position that you claim to be in could have used it, and you were taking up space on the program from them. Y'all, we'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels, so that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days, and hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So that's why it's usually best practice, if you want to hype, to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a new fresh video. And also, if you want to become a member, join buttons on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family will come with, you would get badges next to your comments. So people would see that you are a member whenever you leave a comment, as well as you would get early access to content and exclusive content that is not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, join button is on the video if you want to become a member. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.